Portia Marie.
What's going on, Dope family? It's your boy Iffy.
And this is where creators meet and have dope conversations. Today, we have our special guests in the building, Generation Now A&Rs, Royce Monroe and Willie Joe. What's up?
What's going on?
What's poppin'?
Hey, how you guys feeling?
Chill.
All right. So let the people know who you are, where you from, and what you do.
Willie Joe. I'm from the Bay Area, Vallejo, California. I'm A&R, Generation Now, and a co-founder of Brick by Brick Agency.
Royce Monroe from Polk County, Florida. Generation Now A&R. Also another co-founder of Brick by Brick Agency.
Period. Okay. So we're going to get into some dope topics, okay? So, you know, Fat Joe made the statement that the baby is the 2021 Tupac. As an A&R, how do you guys feel about that?
That's his opinion, but I don't agree.
Okay, why? Tell me why you don't agree.
I feel like, just for example, the situation that the baby in now, I feel like Tupac would have probably handled that differently, even if he did the same thing that baby did on stage. As far as the aftermath, the way he handled it, it kind of, I think it would have been handled different just because it's, different cloth.
Oh,
My
different
opinion.
How do you feel about that? Like
As far as what?
as far as the baby and his statement, like,
I mean, I come from an era where that ain't really nothing what he said, but at the same time, we do understand the time we in now. You know what I mean? So as far as how big he is, he should already be kind of aware of that. But we slip up. But it's all. That's why I said Tupac, because it's about how you bounce from it. Because we all can slip up and say something, but it's about to come back.
What would you say?
But listen, Tupac was having real problems with the law and all that. It ain't just somebody didn't like him. Like, Tupac was catching cases because of his people and having to deal with law enforcement, all kind of stuff. The baby just need an I'm sorry song. The problem is, I feel like all the songs that came after that ain't been on some I learned a lot or I didn't know. It's been on some I don't give a fuck about you bitch ass niggas. And then it's like, that's how that goes.
I mean, I think it comes from a stage of like growing up old school. See, like I have an old soul, even though I'm a millennial or whatever you're gonna call it, I still have an old soul. So like if you date me as a guy, you really get to know me. As my friend, you may not know my old soul for real. You might know to a certain degree, but if you date me, you really get to see that I'm my old soul. So I just feel like the Bernie Macs, my grandmother, people wouldn't be able to handle people like that in today's age. Just being honest, they just wouldn't. And so that's just being the Richard Pryor, like all these people, they wouldn't be able to handle those type of people in today's society. So for me, it's just kind of like, I really respect your viewpoint, like you said. Of course, it kind of went over your head because I said the same thing. Like when I looked at the actual performance, that went way over my head because I'm used to artists talking shit. So to me, it's nothing. Like it's absolutely nothing. But to somebody else, they're pinpointing every single thing you say. So like you said, it's the day and age we live in. So yeah.
so let's talk versus battle, right? So if y'all had to pick 2-on-2, who would y'all want to see in a versus battle right now?
Well, whether it can happen or not happen,
Yes.
I'm probably gonna need R. Kelly and like The Dream or something like.
Dream.
Right,
Some-
the dream out of all people.
I'm just trying to show respect, but I need somebody to battle Kels because outside of all the foolishness my man got going on,
Nobody can beat Kels.
That catalog is nuts, and people forgetting about the love they got for his music, not the person, but his music though. You feel what I'm saying? So. Kels versus anybody, really, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I want.
Okay, bad. What you say, Willie Joe?
Before the one happened, I wanted to see 50 Cent and Ja Rule.
For sure.
I think I think that's the only battle that'll have the Gucci and Jeezy feel.
Yeah.
He gonna need Ashanti though.
Yeah. For sure. Well, listen, before we get into the deep conversation, I want us to start the conversation at least with a word of affirmation or something you live by every single day.
Chess, not checkers. Make every move calculated,
I like that.
God don't make no mistakes.
Oh, come through. Okay. Amen. Sip to that. All right, diving right in. What made you choose the life of an A&R?
You looking at
He always looking at you, Willie Joe.
no lie, like I came up as an engineer in the game, and I used to just be in the room and I'm sitting there like, I know these guys is not smarter than me. Like, it's just impossible. You don't even know how to work a computer, and you choosing the music? Insane. So I just ended up going back to school because I'm like, I saw people making fewer decisions and getting further, and I'm up here burning off 8 hours just to get whatever that check is. And I'm like, homie made 2 decisions and he all the way up. Oh, it's time to transition. So
Not 2 decisions. All right, what about you, Willie Joe?
Well, let's see. I used to be an artist, so I really was on that tough, and I really give a credit to my boy Lake at Generation Now. Like, he literally asked me like what I think about being an A&R, and that was the first time I ever thought about it. And now we're here, so
Wow.
I credit him for sure.
So let's talk about the roster of talent you are working with over at Generation Now. You know, we got the Jack Harlows, we got the Sadie Hendrix. Like, tell us about that catalog over there and their roster and how they inspire you as A&Rs to go hard every day.
Break that roster down.
Okay, let's break it down. I guess the biggest thing with us at Generation Now is like, we're here to let creativity thrive. So, and letting that thrive, we want to guide you to maximize like whatever the result's going to be of your music. But as far as like creative control and things of that nature, the majority of our artists kind of spearhead their whole movement as far as sonic, how it sounds, everything. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to be a representation of the generation now is the main thing for us.
What you did there?
I just got that. Like she been saying that. I'm like, yo, I just got that, what you just said. Like,
That's
Generation
fire.
Now, like, I get that.
The roster.
man.
Roster, so like you mentioned, we got Jack Harlow, Sadie Hendrix, of course Lil Uzi, Kaluminati, and then our first R&B artist, Carvina. She's coming out. If it's not the late 4th quarter, it's gonna be top of the 1st, but that's gonna take us into a different space. Like, you know, we have great notoriety and legacy for being a hip hop label and things of that nature, but becoming just a record label where you're respected across the board, we play on 94.5 and 96.1, that's what we're trying to
Period.
get to. You know?
So it made y'all go into that lane of R&B.
It's just recognizing talent. It's like people always ask, so what do you look for in an artist? I tell people, I don't feel like I've ever looked for an artist a day in my life. Like, God just brings certain people around you, and you got to be able to recognize things when it's around you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see it, then you might miss it. But you don't necessarily have to be out here, you know, not saying not in the street, but just going to open mics and doing that. Like, if you out here doing your thing, it's gonna come towards you. You recognize it. You help put it together. The world like it. The next thing you know, you go from 1,500 to 300,000 people in your show. You know, so.
Dope.
So what are some of like the marketing strategies that you're seeing from these indie artists that's making you like, I like this cat? Is it the clothes they wear, how they carry themselves, like the sound of the music, like what is it?
I think it's understanding the self, like, because you can look at an artist and see if they all over the place and they're just trying to figure it out. Or some artists really have down the lane they want. They know what that's about, they know what that looks like, they know what that sounds like, they know what that walks like. And to me, those are the type of artists that will always get the attention, is the ones that pay attention to making sure it's a total package and it all is a cohesive thing.
Okay. And what are some of the difficulties, like when you're trying to break an artist, like what's some of the difficulties that come with that?
Teaching the artist to trust the process. That it's gonna be all right. Like, you know what I
That
mean?
is the most
The
difficult
dude next to you,
part.
the dude next to you, that's his journey, and don't pay attention to that. Yours is yours, you know what I'm saying? Your moment gonna happen when your moment happen. But it is hard. Like, I didn't grow up with no Instagram and like seeing everybody shining
easier
when they
now.
ain't shining.
Yeah,
Like,
easier.
it's so easy to get caught up in the hype, but the main thing is just to keep their head in the game and let them know that, you know, that marathon is real.
So, like, what advice would you give to an aspiring A&R? Like you said, the only reason why you even thought of it was because it came to you. It was presented to you. So, in your case, like, what advice would you give to an aspiring A&R that don't even know that's their lane or their field, but they might be really dope at that shit?
Love it, and just display it through your everyday activity, because I guess that's the way I got recognized, is whatever I did as an artist, and, you know, because I was independent, so whatever things I thought of to do for myself and people around me, people recognize that as, you know, as a trait. So when you love it, you're just gonna think of things every day to do that's just like you. I see you this is crazy. Like I done seen, we used to be at Mean Street, like to this. So that's the example of that. Just keep going, and it's gonna bubble.
Thank you.
And my bad, just a little side note, just my man left it out his history, you feel me? Like outside his own successful artist
Hype him
career,
up.
you feel me? Because I've known him for a long time, even before we worked at this company together. But my man done put together other artists and other things of that nature. And a lot of the times, I feel like a lot of people don't recognize just the skill set that they have can put a title on you. But today's generation is all about getting the title and then figuring out what skills they need for the title. Every A&R has a different set of skills. Like, if you notice, me and him are partners because like where my area of opportunity is, he excels at, and vice versa type of thing. So you got to kind of know your strengths and your weaknesses and be able to work with somebody that can bring that forward. But Lake was seeing that because they've been friends for a long time too. So it's like he was already doing those moves. It just took someone else like, yo, you know what? I need you to do that over here with us type thing. And then the rest has been history since then.
I love that.
Yeah, put a little extra on it.
Little razzle dazzle.
So like from an A&R's perspective, right? And you're an artist, well, you were an artist, right? So like when you get that one hit, how do you know it's a hit? Right? As in, from an A&R side and from an artist side. Like how do you know it's gonna hit the strip club and it's gonna be bouncing? Because you could be an artist, you could be hearing it by yourself, but everybody in the room like, I don't know.
That's so
or they
mean.
rocking with you. Like, I mean, I'm saying like, I'm sure that happens, right? Like, I'm sure that
I ain't gonna
happens. So
lie.
like,
when I was an artist, I used to think the other way. Like if it was a hit to me, it's a hit. Like without it being proven, without being anything, that's a hit. Y'all tripping. But now it ain't a hit till it's a hit. Like literally. Like it can feel like one all you want to. The whole room can say it, but once it touch the people, if it don't gravitate like it need to gravitate, it, you know, back to the drawing board. Like.
All right, so talking about hits, right? So Summer Walker got this dope rollout going on, right? And the first song she dropped is with her and JT, right? But she came to social media. She went live with, you know, one of the label reps or executives and basically said, like, this was y'all decision. I had no control over this. This is what it is. And the world is like, I don't like this record. Majority of the world don't like the record. Some people like it, of course, naturally. And then there's a lot of more people that don't like the record. So when it comes to these hits, like, and you take a jab like that, so say if you guys was like, say it was Jack Harlow, for example, it was y'all's executive decision to put out the record, but Jack didn't want it, and then you getting this type of feedback that majority of the world don't even like the record. So what does that like feel like to you guys? And how do you combat that?
This your feel.
Well, honestly, that goes back to how the label is structured. So while in the business setup of it, the label has every right to put out any record that they want to from their signed artist or whatnot. That's where we kind of differentiate because we want our artists to be able to stand on the record. Like we understand that it's not just about the song itself, it's about the momentum that the artist brings around the music that's around them from a whole standpoint. So I see that happening. We don't really have that issue on this side because we'll just argue all day until we can get everybody on the same page, but being on the same page is super important because then you have a situation like that where it's like people pointing fingers, nobody's embracing, and y'all are all one band, one sound. So it's really just on y'all. Like you can't blame the label because you signed to the label, so you are the label.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and if the label's trying to meet a certain time frame and the artist has not stood on a single, the label can just analytically look and be like, well, I'm gonna go with the one that's gonna influence the algorithms the most because JT is gonna give me City Girls, it's gonna give me Lil Uzi, it's gonna give me QC, and then that goes to Lil Baby, and so it's gonna all those little algorithm games. But like, even though that information is vital, that's not it shouldn't be a decision-making metric at all. You know what I'm saying? It's more about the feeling and the vibe, and then the artist standing on it. Because if the artists don't stand on it and promote it like it's the best thing since sliced bread, then what we gonna do when they get in the interview? I don't really like that shit, but I'm glad y'all listening. It ain't gonna work.
Right. Like, that's not my single, but.
But it got me here, so hello, Breakfast Club. Nah, we ain't doing nothing like that.
so let's talk social media, right? So what do you think is more important? Like, what social media platforms do you think is very essential in terms of, you know, releasing your music? Cause everybody doing the dances right now, so it's like.
Well, definitely TikTok is big. I think it comes down to what type of artist you is. Because once you understand the type of artist you is, then you understand what platforms work for you. Because if you're a certain type of artist, then TikTok might not be the vibe.
Give us an example,
Like,
do you think rappers is built for TikTok, for example?
Yeah, I mean, that's majority of the songs that's winning on there is rappers, but it's certain kind of rappers. So it's like, I think, like rappers that, you know, deal with pain music or things like that, I think it need to be more organic, where a fan takes their song and thinks of something creative to do and put it on TikTok and make it a thing. I think it's kind of corny when you try to like make a challenge up for yourself, and trying to create a hype instead of like you just organically doing something, somebody grabs something from that world, you know.
Yeah, because that's crazy, because when you think of like Tyga and was it Tyga or no? Ty Dolla Signs and Wizkid. No, I Wiz Khalifa. I just went to the concert.
All right, not you. He's so African, God.
When you, give me, what was this, Something New? That song been out, but that challenge came out last year, and it's like everybody was rocking with it. I'm like, this song is mad old, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the dope part about the social media aspect with music, is because it may not always relate to a current song. It may be catalog music, because over 80% of the money that's generated in music comes from catalog music, not the new music, you know what I'm saying? So that might give life to something. You see streams revive, and artists that had to endure the transition from like physical copies over to digital streaming, that little viral moment might help get their situation back right digitally, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So are there like good strategies you would say artists should put behind like release dates and things of that nature? Like, how do you guys go about release dates with y'all artists?
Release dates, I think no release date should be said until you got everything together. Once everything, you know, whatever the plan is, once everything in the chamber, then you do your release date. Then as far as the rollout, you know, I think it should be creative. I think the one thing that's missing is the fun. Everybody is making this thing so stressful. They making it so hard, and they want every move to be the move that's gonna make them a millionaire. Cut it out, man. Just enjoy yourself. Have fun, think of creative things all the time, and it's just gonna unfold. Like.
So let me ask y'all this, right? So like when y'all dropping these dates, right? Like let's say Drake dropping an album, like are y'all gonna push somebody's album back? Cause it's like everybody gonna be listening to Drake right now, or y'all kind of like, man, fuck this, I'm dropping this shit right now, I don't give a fuck.
I would say it just kind of depends. Like say for instance, if you know that the Drake and Donda thing is pending, you don't want to get caught up in the overshadow of that, and not even from a consumer standpoint, even from like an internal standpoint. Like if you have your product manager pitching to different playlists and things of that nature, it's like if Certified Lover Boy and Donda coming out, that's gonna be the focus that whole week. So it's like, you might as well just, you know, reacclimate your whole situation to where you can kind of get a level playing field, but that's dependent upon the level and demographic of artists you have, because if the demographic don't intersect nowhere, then it don't really matter. If the brand of music don't intersect nowhere, then it don't really matter. But when you got something that's kind of relative in a sense, you just got to take those things into account, but we still try to keep blinders on, but we also don't want to look stupid at the same time.
Right. No, that's a fact. So is there like any like underrated artists that's out right now that you feel like do not get enough of their flowers?
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of people.
Seti Hendrix.
Yeah, Seti is number one.
Okay, Seti.
He's definitely number one. But I think that's in due time though. He just got off a tour with Young Blue. A lot of people fooling. He's gonna drop a new project. So with him, it's just a matter of time. Who else?
Really, my response to that is, in today's time, it's like artists don't have to be as popular or as successful as they did back in the day in order to be rich, essentially.
Right.
Because you have some artists that are good for the rest of their life, but ain't nowhere near a Billboard anything. You feel me? Ain't nowhere near seeing a radio budget open up or anything like that. So that's what makes it kind of different. So I don't really think artists are underrated these days. It's just like who's taking it serious and who not. It's like after a while of doing whatever they was doing, then they start taking it serious because it's like, oh, well, you know, this is my craft. I done already made money off it. Let me just go ahead and turn up and be like, this is my expression. But other than that, everybody just rap hustling right now, it seemed like, you know what I'm saying? Except us a generation.
Yeah, I feel like Tyler, the Creator, he touched on that as well. Like, you know, he's like, I'm good. He said, no matter what the rest of the world say, my mom is good, my friends are good. Like, that's a lot to say within itself. Your friends are good outside of your immediate family. Like, dang, like, what type of money are you making over there? Shit. Let me join the team. You know, but I think there's a lot of artists outside of Sadie, because I know he is in relation to Generation Now. Who is one other artist you guys would say? I have one in mind, but I want to see if y'all would say the same. I say K-Camp.
That's been forever.
That's a good one. Till
That's been
today.
forever.
I always
Listen,
say K-Camp.
my
I
man
always say that.
K-Camp, listen, that's been the homie from, I'm talking about when he had a brush cut. You feel what I'm saying? That's been my homie forever. And he's truly been an underrated artist, but it's something to pay attention to because every artist has their competitive differentiator. You feel me? Something that's developed before the other things developed. And so it's like K-Camp, I feel his aesthetic as an artist had to catch up to his caliber musically as an artist. You feel me? Because it's like now, you know who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know what his look is, you know what it is, blah, blah, blah. Back in the day, it's just like the songs were so big and he was just turning them out one after the other. He didn't have time to catch up to be like, this is me, you know what I'm saying, type thing. So the underrated thing, it's just like, if you stand the test of time, you gonna get your flowers. My man been standing since day one.
He's still around.
Not just around, like my man got the property, the studio, the everything that's going on. So he's still successful. That's the most important.
Because I think it's hard for somebody relevant to be underrated. Like that whole term underrated, slept on. That's like that trip out to me because even the people that's saying it can actually help that cause. Like you can help me stop being slept on by spreading the word. Like pumping while you tweeting him that he slept on, you could also be tweeting his video. Like
Facts. All right, so like today's world, like what do you feel like is missing from the music world? What's missing around here?
Really just a soul in a sense. Like to me, hip hop music today is kind of what rock music was when I was growing up. It's all about like, it has like this demonic feel over it because it's like murder is so big in it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have like the Will Smith Summertime or just something to where it's just about just having fun and having a vibe. It's not enough diversity in hip hop as it was before. You know what I'm saying? You could have a show where it's Common, Ice Cube, and T.I. or something, and now it's just everybody is the same. It don't matter what region you from. It's the same. You know what I'm saying? And so, but to that point, it makes it easier for something dope to stick out when you do encounter that. You know what I'm saying? That's like Jack's trajectory to me, when people understand like, oh, this kid is really talented. Forget all the extras and things you see and all that type of stuff. The music is rocking. It's not hard to distinguish that from other stuff, so then it's out of here because it can be associated with other things because it don't say something that's so left or negative or dark or whatever, because this is a business at the end of the day. Like I want songs to be on Target commercials and all that kind of stuff. We can't do that if we smoking our ops tomorrow, you know what I'm talking about? So
I think it's too real. It need to go back. It is, because like this is what I mean by it, because obviously I don't mean it how it sounds. It's too real. What I mean by that is, like if somebody kills somebody, bury the body, dump it in the river, he gonna go on the song and say the exact same step. He's not gonna give an exaggeration. He's not gonna make it a story. He's not gonna give it a fake name.
no metaphor.
Not gonna give it nothing. Like he's gonna tell you the exact, but he feels he has to do that because if he doesn't, he's not keeping it real. And I think that narrative is
Man, wait,
wrong.
what's that song with them kids from Florida talking about? They say they killed all them people on that song.
Yeah.
Like, hold up, I want to know.
Niggas is happily murdering niggas.
They killed them people. They was naming their names. Like they having it.
Bruh, it's crazy.
Like goodness,
But
we
that's
don't
all I
need
be
the
hearing
story.
though. That's my shit though. I don't know if they did it or not, but that shit just got a vibe to it, yo.
You know what it is? I feel like, because we be joking about it like it's indictment music, but if you look at like back in the day with Jeezy, to me he was artistic in being able to like put you on stuff that you didn't know about, but he's still not incriminating.
Right,
Yeah, he's not incriminating himself. Like
That used
Them
to
kids
be
still
hard.
around. They still dropping music. Like,
But it's a lot of them that are locked up right now too. That has
Exactly.
criminalized themselves. So like, what would you say like a producer or a songwriter or an aspiring A&R, how should they approach guys like you? Like, you know, because you got to think about it. They're going to be a little intimidated. They're like, man, they with Jack Harlow, they with Sadie, like.
I think your approach to me,
Uzi.
Your approach to me would be different than it would be for him.
What?
I agree, Willie.
I think your approach might be a little more together.
I mean,
than
that's a little
your
tattoo
Royce
right
and
there.
Royce.
That shit is love. You know what I mean?
You call that Royce, you might need to be a little more.
Please
on point.
explain, my brother. I need to
Me,
understand.
I might be a little more cool, but nah, I think it just needs to be genuine. I think the one thing that can be a turn off is like people that just do too much, like you want it too bad. Like I don't know, just learn the etiquette at the end of the day. Like I don't like when people be like, hey man, what's up, my name is blah blah blah. You mind if I send you this song? And it's not sending me the song. He's asking me, can he send me a song? I get it, it's dope because you in your mind you think that's etiquette, that's like being polite. But at the same time, you could miss your whole opportunity because you're not getting to the point. Like you trying to water something down instead of like giving it to me real, what you really talking to me for. You really ain't trying to.
So should they play it like right there on the spot, or?
No, that was an email example. But
okay.
As far as in person, like if you catch me the right time, I definitely like a listen. But wrong time.
How y'all feel about the DMs, the spams, the tags?
So listen, that's what I was gonna speak on, right? Like, I'm the type of person, it's more than just an initial conversation. Like on my profile page, my company email that I check is right there. You can click email. So when I look at my DMs and I see people saying like, can I send you something? Or what email can I send something to? It just lets me know that you're not that serious because—
And you do your research.
Right, because I'm putting all the stuff out there for you to do it. You could damn near send me a link via the DM. You feel me? Like the point is, once you got my attention, use it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that like on some big-headed shit, but it's just like, if you're gonna reach out, then why you asking? Like, you should just go for it. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's real. But I always say that I respect it because that's just like somebody spelling my name wrong. It's right there. Like my real name is on social media. So you spell it wrong or you say what email I can send it to. Like you said, my email, my contact is right there. So it's just like for those aspiring artists or creatives out there, you know, do your due diligence to like at least do the research. Because it's like the product is out there. Like some people, when I reach out and I was like, you know, I even hit up Willie, right? Me and he was talking in the DMs back and forth. He was telling me I was on tour and all of that. And I was like, well, send me the names who's coming, their email. I didn't even wait on him. He's like, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna see your page, went to your email. I just sent you the shit. Like, you know, it's just like, I ain't waiting on Willie. He busy. Like, you know, he busy. But that just goes to show, like, to the extent of, like you said, how serious you are, you know, and things of that nature. So, you know, that's, you know, tea for y'all creators out there that's trying to reach out or get to, you know, those people that you really want to talk to.
Definitely.
So like, I know y'all A&R, so like, is your playlist, does it have a connection to like who you're looking for, right? Or I know y'all said earlier, it's kind of like whoever's creative, but like, is there some type of like playlist that you have where it's kind of like, you listen to this, you listen to that, but like it kind of helps you find who you're looking for?
I'm a ultimate YouTuber. Like that's kind of all I do.
sure. He done put my man, like the way he know how to navigate YouTube. Even outside of music, I done found so many little universities that I can attend to learn different things. For sure, YouTube University.
I'm definitely a YouTube guy. That's kind of how I just be peeping new stuff and stuff like that. But what about you?
I really only listen to like hit records or pop records or things like that. So I recognize like elements, cause like when you go like. We here in Atlanta is great, you know what I'm saying? But when you really go to like the New Yorks or the LAs and you in certain studios where it's not a lot of us or whatever the case may be, you start to understand how methodical they are in the creation of certain records. Like they're like, oh, we need a hit record. All right, we'll do the 3/4 triplet beat. Da, da, da. It's like a whole equation type thing. So it's like I listen. Me in my car, I was telling him I listen to the pop station when I'm driving around. You might think it's some smoking my op. Da, 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 da. In my car, making my way downtown. I'd be on some whole other shit when the windows up. You know what I'm saying? But that's just to recognize the parts that really like get people in tune. The technical term's called entrainment, which is like locking the heart into a groove type thing. So I try to focus on that, just listening to outside shit, because you know we in the urban market, so I be needing something else other than what we deal with. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. So speaking of that, when you say you need something else, right? We all have our sense of sanity that we have to touch into or reach out to when we are outside of the music industry. Like, for example, I tell people going to the gym, working out, that's part of my sanity. Going to church every Sunday. So like when the pandemic happened and not actually physically being in church, being physical and being virtual is two different things for me, right? So I tell people like, I need church. I need to be in there. You know what I mean? I need to be in church. I also need to go to the gym. This is part of my sanity. So like, what are some things you guys do to like tap into your peace of mind outside of being in the industry and being around whatever, guns or, violence, you know what I'm saying, all day? Like, what do you tap into?
Like yourself, I go to the gym Monday through Friday, but whenever I'm not working even though it's a lifestyle job, but whenever I'm not involved in something, I just try to do the most, like, what I call regular. I like just go to the movies, walk to the park, like go places, like just do stuff that's not necessarily, hey, I'm this A&R from Generation Now. I just be trying to be Royce out here sometimes.
I be having to, catch myself to even have that moment. Because to be honest with you, I
keep it lit.
Yeah, I just be going. I ain't gonna lie. I just be going and I really try to think about that. Like, what do I do like that's outside of music? My family, my mom, my sister, and my niece.
No kids?
No kids.
Great uncle. Great uncle though.
Great uncle.
Yeah.
Okay, great uncle.
For sure. So them three for sure. I always make sure I take time out to go kick it with them because that's it's peace for me. Yeah.
So what would you say, like at this point, right? And y'all got Jack Harlow, y'all got Seti, y'all got Uzi, y'all got all these dope people around your roster. What would you say is the most rewarding to date?
For the company or us personally?
Both. Give me both.
For the company, I think it's all the artists. I think it's first is them doing the unthinkable, being DJs first and foremost, and changing that whole game, and then turning that into a record label and finding an artist that, first when he came out, no one was like him and no one understood what the genre he was creating was. Made it a household name. He becomes one of the biggest artists in the world. They fall out. They tell him they can't do it again. They find a white boy that everybody says who is Napoleon Dynamite. He blossoms into the new Justin Timberlake, and now he's everywhere. So I think for them it's just always continuing success and show that they can do it. And for me personally is to be able to witness that and to have a front row seat of that, to any aspirations I have, to know I actually can do it because I'm standing next to people that actually are doing it.
I love that.
So
Okay.
It's pretty much similar. Like being invited into someone's legacy that they're building is like a super blessing. Like it's a lot of us. Everybody in the music industry wants to belong to something. At the end of the day, they don't care if you say you working. Hey, I'm gonna work with you type thing. But to belong to something that really embraces you, and it's like the world know what's going on. Like everybody ain't got no Royce Monroe, Willie Joe, but you know who we work for type thing. And that's just that's like a validation in itself, because I'm not trying to prove to you nothing about what I do. If I just tell you who I work for, it's obvious, you know what I'm saying, type thing.
Okay. Well, this has been such a dope conversation. I want to say thank you guys for joining us. But of course, without y'all getting out of here too fast, we got to play a game.
Okay.
It's called Red Flag, Green Flag. Okay. I know y'all seen all the flags on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? So I know y'all got some red flags, y'all got some green flags. So here we are. Take your flag.
Oh, it really got flags. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, real flags. Yeah, put the drink down.
All right, y'all ready? Yeah. We're gonna start with you. Now, you see a lot of recycling and movement in the industry. Everybody, this girl go from here, go from there, go from there. Is that a red flag for you, like, in your music industry world? Is that a red flag, like, well, I can't use him as an example. That's your right-hand man. So you say another A&R from another label, right? Mm-hmm. Like, is that a red flag for you, like, trying to go talk to her, slide in her DM, trying to build a relationship?
I got a relationship with the A&R?
I mean...
Y'all cool.
Oh,
nah,
you just
like
what's
did
that?
whatever.
You at the Grammys, you like, what's good, y'all? And then keep it pushing.
It's a lot of like nice, nasty shit that go on in the industry. Like, yeah, what's up, my nigga? And then you cool, but on the inside, it's like, man, fuck this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you would date his girl.
See, that's what I'm saying. I would have to ask levels of questions. It's like, am I taking shorty serious, or I'm just trying to tag? Like, what's going on? For the most part, if I don't know dude, like if it's not my mans in them, if you're not a part
Yeah, I
of
don't
my
know
squad,
you.
then it's that's a casualty of war. You feel me?
Okay. All right. So look. Okay. We know we be in the nightlife, right? You know, being in a part of the industry, you be a part of the nightlife. So say you invite a chick back, she bad. You know, bad to the bone. You invite her back to the crib. Okay, but she don't take a shower before y'all lay down. Red flag, green flag.
First of all, that's not happening.
What's not happening?
You're not finna not take a shower. You have to literally be like, I'm not taking a shower. I'm gonna be like, yo, we getting in the shower, yo. Like, what's up? You feel me? Like,
Okay, so you hop in the shower
ASAP.
with her. We need to get in the shower.
everybody gotta get clean before you get nasty. You feel what I'm talking about?
You been in the club for 4 hours.
You feel me?
You know
Sitting
what's
on it.
going
Who knows what happened? We went to the restroom, all that shit been marinating. You know what I'm saying? And you think you finna go to sleep here too? If you finna sleep and slide up here, you definitely finna shower. You know what I'm talking about? My bad.
Yikes. Sound like it went down.
Right. This touch his soul, right?
Yeah, no shower. It's just COVID out here. What's wrong with you? Put your mask on.
All right, so you know, this is always the controversy, right, with women, right? So, you know, you got your working class women, the women that's gonna grind for it no matter what. Then you also have those women that wanna be a housewife. If a chick talking about, yo, like, Roy's you guys generation now money, like, I wanna be a housewife. Red flag, green flag.
Red flag. I've been there too many times.
So does she gotta have a hustle about herself? Or, like, okay, so listen, what if she's a housewife but she got some hustle a little bit?
You're not my wife yet, though. I ain't hiring an assistant right now. You feel me? I ain't even got one of them currently speaking. So why I'm gonna take? It's already a budget built into dealing with you. So now you want like additional and royalties and advances and all that other type of shit. And it's just like, huh? Where your daddy at? Like, what's going on? I ain't saying I ain't paying for nothing that involve us, but it's just like you a whole adult out here. Like me figuring out your gas money and all this other dumbass shit. I ain't doing none of that, man. Like, what we talking about? You don't own nothing. You ain't got nothing. Like, you want to be my equal, but you don't want to be my equal. How that work?
Oh, hey, that's a word right there. That's a word.
Yeah, you know, I've been hurt, so I took that one. You feel me?
You let them know. You let them know.
The last 2-3 years been serious for me, dog. I ain't gonna cap. You feel me?
That shit sound current.
Yeah, I hope they hear that shit too. You feel me?
What about you, Willie John?
They can help you be some dope people.
Yeah, that's what it is.
God don't make no mistakes, man. He'll bring. It's just like the artist. He'll bring them. He'll bring them.
bring 'em.
I was forcing them other ones. You feel me? That's why that shit ain't work. You know what I'm saying?
What's the close question?
About, do you prefer housewife? But you say you don't want no housewife. You definitely put a red flag for that. But what if she's a hustler? Like,
She hustles cool. I think, see, to me, housewife means she's the mother of my children.
yes.
Oh, then yeah. Well,
Is that all it takes, or is she helping you, you know, day to day, a little admin
Well,
work?
to
here and
me, kind of person I am, you're not even gonna get to a level of the mother of my children before we even built that kind of.
there? Perfect
Period.
answer.
Right.
Perfect answer. Now, asking for money on the first date. Red flag, green flag.
What? You want to know who I am?
Did I go on Mega Personal, or did I meet you somewhere else? Like, what is money on the first date? Who paying for the date? Like, ain't nothing guaranteed, baby. This life. What's wrong with you? Like, asking money on the first date? How?
Are you
They do
at
that out here
least
for
paying for the
sure.
first date, or?
Of course, that's nothing. Like,
Okay,
this is the thing. This is what happened. A lot of women done got used to a lot of fuck nigga shit. Can you cuss on here? I'm sorry.
I mean, you gotta call yourself.
Make sure to bleep it out. Sorry, you can bleep it out. It'll look better for the edit. But anyway, a lot of women done got used to a lot of fuck nigga shit because they caliber of niggas that they can get is off deck. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to put the things that they experience with niggas that they shouldn't be with niggas that they should actually aspire to be with. You know what I'm saying? So certain shit like paying for the date and all that, that's like a fry with a meal. That shit included, baby. We ain't even worried about that. You feel me? My mind on something else. You feel me? I'm trying to create the scenery for you to be able to make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about who paying for the popcorn and the fucking water. What are we talking about?
So, okay. So, is it a red flag, though, if at least by the 5th date she don't ask to pick up the check?
You say if she don't ask?
Yeah, like, so y'all done went on all these dates. Okay, that's about the 5th date. And you want to see, like, okay, she gonna at least ask? Even if you're gonna pay for it, if she don't at least offer, is that a red flag for you or not?
I got a caveat question.
You always got a story, Royce.
No, I just got a question, like
What's
to
the
add to detail to it. Like,
Okay.
it's the 5th date, right? I ain't
Yeah.
saying it had to happen or nothing like that, but I mean, are we still like just nothing happened yet, or like it done got cracking and we just still continuing type thing? Because all that type of shit,
Like,
man.
we get to know each other, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
We still just building. We
Yeah, y'all building.
We ain't done nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, 5th date. Damn, that's what we working on. But go ahead.
Not what we working on.
Yeah, we
Okay,
working
wait.
on other
How many
stuff.
days does it take for you to like feel like I need the box to see like is this even worth continuing?
I ain't. We gonna answer that for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, as far as you know how it's been, it don't really take more than one day. But if it does,
Oh God.
I respect it because if that's how she, you know, if that's the time she want to take, if she wants to, she takes it serious. She think we really can be a foundation. It might get respected. Just all about how she go about it.
It's not a requirement. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that I'm hurt over, you feel me? Them made me wait. You know what I'm talking about? Them was waiters.
Oh.
You know what I'm
Waiters.
saying?
Wait.
Now, the ones I ain't waiting on, I ain't focused on. You know what I'm talking about? I done had a good day with so and so, but then that was Tuesday. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a red flag. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, this isn't really a red flag, green flag question, right? So y'all in the club, y'all invite a girl out, right? And then she brings her friends out. It's somebody you talking to. And she bring her friends, and they look way better, right? Like, what's your mindset? Like, you going after the wolves, or you sticking to you being loyal? What you doing?
Yeah, in my, well, it depends, though.
talking about they.
On what?
As far as the energy with her, like,
They
they
bad.
can be
matter of fact,
bad,
you
but
spill
she the
something, they
leader.
wiping your shit down. Like,
She the one with the bread. Is she the leader? Is she the one that they follow?
they all got bread.
Ah,
Maybe her
okay.
friends might got more money.
But let's be clear though, the caliber of female that we talking about that got them friends anyway, she was already chose because she's a certain way, you feel me, or a certain caliber of female. So it's like her friends might look slight, it might be a competitive differentiator on the friend, but she can't look that much better than the one that I chose. You feel me? I ain't gonna say that ain't about the looks. What I'm saying is that birds of a feather flock together. So the friend, the one I'm talking to, gotta be super on point in order for the other ones to be Naomi Campbell or some shit. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be like my girl walking with like a little humpback or something, and then here come her friend all bad. Like, nah, what kind of man am I? You feel me? Like, the one I chose was worth choosing. You know what I'm talking about? And then she coming with more that's more choice worthy. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, respect. What about you, Billy?
I got a crazy little mind, so I be in that scenario, and I think to myself like, damn, I wish I would have like met that one before that one, but I won't do nothing about it.
Okay.
I turn up on this one to make them all wish that they was her,
Period.
and I get
Energy.
satisfaction.
I like that energy, Willie.
Cut. Big energy.
Yeah, man.
I like that.
Well, guys, this wraps up the show. I want to say thank you guys for coming out and
Appreciate
tapping
y'all,
up
man.
with our creators at Dope People Meet Podcast. I
yeah.
am your girl, Portia Marie,
Your boy Iffy.
and this is where creators meet and have dope conversations.
Yerp. What's going on? It's your man Royce Monroe.
Willie Joe.
Make sure you check us out on the Dope People Meet Podcast.
You heard?